For the video version of this podcast, please visit our YouTube channel, Daughters of the American Revolution National Headquarters. Otherwise, please enjoy this audio podcast on your favorite streaming service. Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Brooke Bullmaster Stewart, and I'm the National Chair of the DAR Today Podcast Committee. Well, here we go. It's that time of year. Time for family, presents, and of course your own reasons for the season. And then time for carols. What's your favorite? I think I'd have to say mine is this one. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Do you just love this time of year? It's so beautiful with the decorations everywhere. What kind of decorations do you put up in your own home? If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below in the chat to let us know. I do love my own Christmas tree, but wow, have you seen the trees at our beautiful DAR buildings in Washington, D.C.? Have you been there during the holidays? It's really something. And once again, our National Society ushered in the holiday season with a festive outreach evening of music and cheer by opening our national headquarters to members and the public to showcase all that is historic, patriotic, and celebratory during this time of wonder. And so many daughters were on hand to send greetings.
Hi, and happy holidays from the Office of the Chaplain General.
Hi, from the Office of the Librarian General, I want to wish you Merry Christmas from all of us at the DAR Open House in Washington. And I'm standing in front of the beautiful Veterans Tree. Again, Merry Christmas.
From the Office of the First Vice President General, I wish you all the best for this wonderful, sparkling holiday season.
This year's Christmas open house truly sparkled as our President General Pamela Rouse Wright and all of her executive board members welcomed nearly 900 guests. All were greeted with holiday cookies and hot chocolate. Great Christmas shopping, wonderful music, and of course, an opportunity to visit with Santa Claus. Families were encouraged to explore our beautiful home by visiting each of the 6 floors, our renowned geological library, and our 31 period rooms.
Happy holidays from DAR.
From the Office of the Corresponding Secretary General, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Hello from the Office of Recording Secretary General. I want to wish you all a very, very happy holiday season and a very Merry Christmas from the beautiful DAR headquarters.
Happy holiday, ladies. Sorry you're missing the open house, but it's great. Wish you all was here. Hopefully you can make it next year. If you're not here yet, get here.
And true to the spirit of the season and the generosity that epitomizes chapters and daughters throughout the nation, this evening provided yet another opportunity to give back with a children's book drive. What a wonderful way to share all that we have and all that we do by welcoming everyone back into our house beautiful. It was wonderful to see all of our incredible staff members and also the executive board members at this event, but of course, seeing Santa Claus was the best part of all.
We wish you a very Merry Christmas
And a sparkling holiday season
from DAR.
We're speaking today with Mariana Harrison, who's a student at Berry College. Welcome, Mariana.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So tell me about you.
Yes, so I am a sophomore at Berry College. I'm an elementary education major with minors in theater and family studies, and I'm originally from Maryville, Tennessee.
So you get to be Tara Tremendous as your, alter ego, perhaps?
Yes, alter ego.
Now tell us a little bit about Tara.
So Tara is a 15-year-old superhero, and she has the powers of all the superheroes in the universe that she can tap into. So very powerful.
Wow. And what would a typical episode be like where we would hear about Tara and what she's doing?
So oftentimes her episodes start out at Power University, where she goes to school, and Tara goes on lots of adventures, and sometimes that kind of depends on the season, what she's up to. But oftentimes she'll go and try to save someone or fight a battle, and sometimes they'll have a longer plot line that stretches over several episodes, like the episodes that are airing right now. There's a big 3-part finale to season 4.
Oh, how fun.
Oh man, you feel that?
Mr. Barrington, what's happening?
The ground. This isn't solid ground. It's a sinkhole. I've come here because I think it's time to reveal the truth.
What are you talking about?
Summoning the power of Zion!
These are nothing more than parlor tricks.
She's Terra Tremendous. She doesn't play around.
Let the projection begin.
It's all been leading to this. It's the season 4 finale of Terra Tremendous. And whatever you do, don't miss the final moment of the show.
So 4 seasons for this show.
4 seasons.
That's kind of neat. And tell me this, with regard to the way the producers of this show, WonkyBot, their feelings for Terra Tremendous and the way the character is, the decisions she makes. Tell us about their focus on that.
So they really want Tara to be a good role model for the audiences that are listening to the podcast, most of which are younger audiences. And so Tara, as a 15-year-old, is facing some really hard decisions that she has to make in each episode. And so they want her, they want the kids listening to just be able to hear a good role model. And even when she's facing hard decisions, she's always trying to think about what can be best for others, even when that might be really hard and might go against what other people are telling her she should do.
And that's why I think we wanted to put a little spotlight on this podcast, because it's neat to hear that that's happening out there. And being a student of Berry College, of course, and DAR's support for Berry College. Tell us, have you ever heard any neat comments from any of the listeners?
Yes, so it's really interesting to see the wide variety of audiences from the United States and other countries as well. We had a situation a little while back where a girl loves listening to Terra Tremendous, and so Tara got to send her a little message, which was really sweet. And so it's awesome to hear the good comments and positive feedback that come back from children of all ages. And some of those comments are on the podcast platforms, and some of them come straight through WonkyBot.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Mariana. We can't wait to hear what happens in season 4 for the finale. When will that air? Do you know?
So 2 more episodes are going to be coming out. I'm not exactly sure those air dates, but soon.
And right now we are in the end of September of 2022, so we can't wait to hear what happens. Thanks so much again for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Have you ever wondered about the largest DAR chapter in the world? Well, the companion to the George Washington chapter in Galveston, Texas, with a current membership boasting nearly 700 women, the Lady Washington chapter, named in honor of Martha Dandridge Custis Washington, wife of George, holds this estimable distinction. Established on November 14, 1899, by organizing regent Ella Hutchins Snyder, then Vice Regent of the Mount Vernon Ladies Association, the chapter was the first established in Houston and the 5th in the state of Texas. Chapter namesake Martha Dandridge Custis Washington earned the affectionate title of Lady Washington due to the kindness she extended to her husband's troops during the campaign at Cambridge in 1775. Organizing Regent Mrs. Snyder was a descendant of Austin's Old 300 colony and served as Texas State Regent from 1904 to 1910. Chapter members meet monthly, October through May, with special events scheduled throughout the year. In fact, they sponsor the largest CAR society in the country. The San Jacinto Society has 136 members, and just about every event that the Lady Washington chapter has is a joint event with this CAR chapter. Isn't that a great idea to engage your local CAR members and their families? And for those who don't know, CAR stands for Children of the American Revolution. This first inaugural What's in a Name segment is dedicated to President General Pamela Edwards Rouse Wright in honor of her home chapter and as a Texas daughter. Is there a neat story behind your chapter's name? Send it in to us at darpodcast@nsdar.org. We would love to feature you on one of our What's in a Name segments. On November 12th of this year, our President General Pamela Edwards Rouse Wright had the honor of attending the dedication of the first America 250 plaque in her home state of Texas. Joining her was Texas State Regent Marcy Carter Lovick, Honorary President General and U.S. Semi-Quincentennial Commissioner Lynn Forney Young, Historian General Suzanne Heskey, the America 250 Committee National Chair Catherine Walker West, many Texas daughters, and the representatives of several Hispanic heritage societies. The Texas DAR Society is honored to have worked with the City of San Antonio's World Heritage Office to place a plaque at the Spanish Governor's Palace in recognition of the essential contributions made by Spanish ranchers in the quest for American independence. These ranchers are among the more than 500 Spanish Patriots to whom DAR members have traced their lineage. The essential role played by Spain in the fight for American independence is not a story many of us learned in school. Spanish Patriots were residents of Spanish Louisiana or Nueva España, which included portions of the present-day states of Texas, California, New Mexico, Colorado, and Arizona, as well as Mexico. Spanish forces also served in Cuba and other parts of the Caribbean. After Spain declared war on Britain as an ally of France, Spanish forces under the leadership of the Spanish governor of Louisiana, General Bernardo de Galvez, attacked British positions in the south and captured West Florida in battles along the Gulf Coast, ending with the Siege of Pensacola. Pensacola's battle lasted for 2 months, ending May 8th of 1781, making it the longest-lasting siege of the American Revolution. This secured the southern route for supplies and closed off the possibility of any British offensive through the western frontier of the United States via the Mississippi River. Spain also supported American forces with money, food supplies, uniforms, blankets, medicines, weapons, and munitions. In 1780, Carlos III, the King of Spain, issued a royal decree that all subjects in Nueva España make a voluntary contribution of 1 or 2 pesos to help fund the American Revolution. In 1781, Spain provided financing for the Battle of Yorktown with gold and silver coins collected in Havana, alleviating the financial difficulties faced by General George Washington and the Continental Army. Spain also financed French land and naval forces, critical to the American war effort and ultimate victory at Yorktown. In Texas, Spanish ranching activity had reached astonishing proportions in the 1770s and 80s, as documented by the Honorable Robert H. Thornhoff in his seminal work, The Texas Connection with the American Revolution. The area, now occupied by present-day San Antonio, was home to the Presidio de San Antonio de Bejar, which included the Spanish Governor's Palace, residence to the Presidio's senior-ranking advisor. Around the Presidio was the Villa de San Fernando de Bejar, founded in 1731 by the Canary Islanders, sent by Spain's King Philippe V to establish the first civil government in the province of Texas. In 1779, Galvez, in need of supplies for his forces in Louisiana, sent an emissary, Francisco Garcia, requesting and authorizing the first cattle drive out of Texas. Garcia arrived in San Antonio de Bejar on June 20th of 1779, and by August of that same year, 2,000 head of cattle from the Spanish ranchers located along the San Antonio River Valley and the La Bahia area, now Golidad, were headed to Galvez's forces. All told, more than 9,000 head of cattle were trailed from Texas to Louisiana between 1779 and 1782 in support of Spanish troops and local militias. A National Historic Landmark, the Governor's Palace represents the last visual remnants of the Presidio San Antonio de Bejar, making it the ideal location for a DAR America 250 marker. Thousands of visitors tour the Governor's Palace each year to learn about life in Nueva España. The America 250 marker is located in the side courtyard of the Governor's Palace and is visible from very busy Commerce Street in downtown San Antonio near the Riverwalk. Following the dedication ceremony, the approximately 100 guests present enjoyed a reception in the main courtyard, hosted by the 12 chapters of the San Antonio Area Regions Council, as well as the Thomas Shelton and Uvalde de las Cimas DAR chapters. Mrs. Wright was delighted to meet the Honorary Consul of Spain, the Honorable Steve Alfonso Chiscano, as well as leaders from Hispanic heritage societies, including the Canary Islands Descendants Association, 1718 San Antonio Founding Families and Descendants, and Los Becarenos. Many of these leaders are also DAR members. The dedication ceremony was an incredible example of the opportunity we have as a national society to celebrate our nation's rich history and diversity of experience as we approach our 250th anniversary. By uncovering and sharing these chapters in our nation's history, we are not only telling a more complete story of the American Revolution, but also opening the door to DAR membership to more women. If you'd like to know more about this, be sure to check out our website at dar.org. "231 years ago, on December 15th, the Bill of Rights were adopted as a single unit. These were the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. And did you know the Bill of Rights derives in part from Magna Carta, written in 1215? However, its influence was shaped by what 18th century Americans believed Magna Carta to signify. Magna Carta was widely held to be the people's assertion of rights against an oppressive ruler, a legacy that captured American distrust of concentrated political power. But before this vote on the Bill of Rights came to be, things at the Constitutional Convention, where they were signing this Constitution, were uncertain. Many Americans, persuaded by a pamphlet written by George Mason, opposed the new government. Mason was one of the 3 delegates present on the final day of the convention who refused to sign the Constitution because it lacked a Bill of Rights. James Madison and other supporters of the Constitution argued that a Bill of Rights wasn't necessary because, and I quote, "the government can only exert the powers specified by the Constitution," end quote. But they agreed to consider adding amendments when ratification was in danger in the key state of Massachusetts. Isn't it interesting? I think sometimes we take our country for granted, but the more you delve into its history, the more you realize nothing was certain. Victory and outcomes were not assured. And speaking of significant dates in our American history and victories that weren't sure, when December 19th rolls around and you race inside from the bracing cold to get all bundled up, cozy and warm, remember those who began their encampment on that day at Valley Forge 245 years ago in 1777. Many of us as DAR members, myself included, have patriot ancestors who endured that bitter cold. What a sacrifice they all made. Let's be sure to remember them. I leave you with this quote from Roy L. Smith: "He who has not Christmas in his heart will never find it under a tree." Well, thanks for listening, and be well, dear friends. Let's celebrate the Stars and Stripes forever, and remember, with all of your ancestors behind you, you are the result of the love of thousands. This podcast was written and produced by our incredible team of writers and editors, and we are, as always, so grateful for President General Pamela Edwards Rouse Wright and Historian General Suzanne Heskey for their constant guidance. We're thankful also to Janet Westbrook, the National Chair of the American History Committee, for information about the Bill of Rights. Also to Ruth Haney, the Regent of the Lady Washington chapter, and to Mariana Harrison, Berry College, and WonkyBot Studios for allowing us to showcase the Terra Tremendous podcast Go check that out. You'll find it on lots of podcast platforms. Thanks to all of you for being so generous with your time. The National Society Daughters of the American Revolution is a nonprofit, non-political volunteer women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and securing America's future through better education for children. Members are all lineal descendants of those who supported the cause of independence in the Revolutionary War. For more information, please visit dar.org. This is the DAR Today podcast.